Hi guys, Janae Cardona here, owner of Magnitude Cheer. We're going to go over some flyer stretching that you can do at home. As with all of our activities, please make sure that you have a safe space, lots of room, make sure everything's out of your way, make sure you warm up and stretch as well. So this is after you have warmed up and stretched. A few added things you can do as a flyer. So these are great for jumps as well. So once you have warmed up and stretched, go ahead. I always get into my straddle by sliding into my middle splits. So go ahead and get into your middle splits as low as you can go. Make sure your tush is not touching the ground. If you can go lower than me and go onto your elbows and things like that, awesome. Hold that for about 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we fall onto our tush. So now we are sitting in a straddle. After we've stretched out everything, and we're going to loosen this area up a lot. Great for jumps, great for flyers. I do what I call in my jump class, I call it belly and butt or tummy and tush. So in your straddle position, you want to go through the middle splits, tap your belly button on the ground, go through the middle splits, and tap your buttons on the ground. It is not simply I tap my belly, I tap my butt. I tap my belly, I tap my butt. You're actually going through the middle splits. If this is difficult for you, get a partner to help you. I will walk around in my jump class when I teach this, and people that need the help, I will go ahead and stand behind them and help lift them up, because the hardest part for most people is this beginning part. If you need to, you could put one hand in behind, but I'd rather you keep both hands in front. So you're here. If you need a little rocking momentum, that is totally fine. Get ready and push. The secret is to get your tush up. Start walking through the middle splits, tap your belly on the ground, push up through middle splits, and tap your butt on the ground. You want to do that 5, 10, 15, 20 times, depending on how much you can do it. You'll notice you'll get closer in your middle splits the more you do it. And of course, the closer you are to your middle splits, the easier it is. So if you're lower than I am in your middle splits, you'll have a much easier time than I will. So again, you want to push up. The secret is trying to get that butt up right away. Get those hands underneath, get that butt up, and then start walking. And then as soon as you hit that middle splits, tap your belly button on the ground. Your tush is not on the ground. You are laying on the ground. Legs wide open, then push back into your middle splits. So those are some great exercises that you can do. A few other ones for flyers. I like to, and anybody can use these, of course. I like to go through both sides of splits. So I go to the middle splits. I will turn to one side, back to middle, turn to the other side, back to middle, and we'll add some things on there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and push up into my, or slide into my middle splits, because I prefer that. However you want to get into your middle splits is fine. Just make sure your tush is in line with your knees, in line with your ankles. So in your middle splits now, the lower you are to middle splits, the easier this is going to be. But in your middle splits, you go as low as you can, and then you turn. So I'm turning to my left leg. I switch my hands. I've got one hand in front, one hand in back. Point those toes. I know I'm a little close to the camera. You can't see my toes, but let me get out of it so we can talk about it real quick. Make sure for your back leg, unless you are completely in the splits, you still have your back knee on the ground and you have your back toenails on the ground. You don't want this back leg to be, off to the side, hanging out like this. We want it to be like this. Totally straight would be ideal. So you're in these one leg in front splits, one hand on either side. Hold those splits. From there, we'll go back into the middle splits and hold this. About 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then flip it over to the other side. Again, one hand on one side, one hand on this side. Make sure that back leg is as straight as you can. Your knees should be on the ground, your toenails should be on the ground. And then we go back to middle, back to side, back to middle, back to side, back to middle. Depends how long you have. If you're at home and you're like, I've got all the time in the world and I want to get awesome at my flexibility and my splits, I would do them about 5 times. So left, middle, right, middle, left, middle, right, middle. And I would hold each for at least 10 seconds. Depends how warmed up and stretched you are. The more flexible you are, obviously the longer you want to hold it because you need more of a challenge. So those are some great exercises. Other ones, you want to work on your flying positions. I always start on the ground, especially for my younger students. Sometimes it's kind of hard to hold our body position up in the air, so we need to start on the ground. So I will start seated. I will go ahead and put one foot in front. I grab ankles with both hands, scoot back a little bit so you can see better. If you are more flexible, you can go ahead and grab underneath your foot. And I always start with what I call a front stretch. So I want my leg to be as straight as possible. I can use my biceps to pull my leg to my face. And I would like to ideally kiss my leg. So I want my hands either on my ankle or underneath my foot, depending on how flexible you are. Straight leg, so it has to be straight. If I'm already bending, it doesn't matter how much I pull it, if it's still bent, I'm not doing what I need to do. So it needs to be straight, and then use those biceps to pull it in as much as you possibly can. So this is about as far as I can go. I'm not able to kiss my leg, but I'm pulling it in front of my body. Okay? So we're gonna do that with both legs. It's much easier seated because I don't have to worry about this bottom leg. My bottom leg is turned out because it's supporting all my weight right now. I don't have to worry about keeping it straight, which makes it a lot easier. So this is your front stretch. Heel stretch, hold on with the same hand. So I've got my right leg in the air. I'm gonna keep my right foot there, right hand there, and my other hand's out to the side. Notice my leg does not open up to the side. That's like a Weiss scale in gymnastics. That's not a heel stretch. If you do this in the air, we're gonna fall out of our stand up. We don't want that. So again, that's why I always do front stretch first. Pull it in front of your face and then simply let go with one hand. I always tell them this foot should be like covering their eye, like they're a pirate. They have an eye patch, because you don't want it to come out to the side. So you want to keep it here in front. If I put a sticker on the back of their knee, you should be able to see that sticker. Okay? I want to see the bottom of their foot, the bottom of their shoe right there. So that is your heel stretch. Same arm, same leg. Now from seated, we'll do a bow and arrow. Forgive me, my bow and arrow is not as amazing as all the flyers you see, but you're going to take this free hand. Okay? You're going to take the opposite hand and grab it. And you're going to pull it out to the side like, peekaboo, how are you? Now this same leg, this same hand that I was holding on to a minute ago, I'm going to let go. Now I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to snake it through. Again, this hand was out here. I'm going to snake it through, and I'm going to try to use this bicep, pull this leg behind me so that this hand can be straight that way. So this is about as far as I'm able to go. Now, flyers, we don't want to be our head. Mine is crooked right now because this is as far as I can go. But ideally, you want to take that leg, get it super duper straight, have this other arm, use that bicep muscle, and pull that leg. Some people can get that straight leg that I was struggling to get behind this direction behind their head because they're that flexible. I am not. But you want to go ahead and pull that leg so the other hand is out to the side. So it kind of looks like a bow and arrow, like Merida used in Be Brave or Robin Hood. So we do that on both legs. Now for our younger students, a lot of times it's kind of tricky to figure out that bow and arrow, figure out which hand it is. It's a little challenging. So again, for the other leg, grab your ankle or your heel, pull it up for your front stretch. Same hand, same leg, stay together. Other hand, you can wave at the camera. You've got your heel stretch. Again, it should be kind of covering your eye, not out to the side. You want it covering your face. You can see the back of your leg. Now take this free hand, grab your ankle, grab your heel, grab whatever. I don't grab my toes because then it comes up with a flex foot, but grab what you can grab. Now that same hand we were holding on to a minute ago, let go. Using this bicep over here, pull it so you can kind of see my face. I have to shift my body over. Take this hand, put it through right here. Try that again. So your hand was over here, take it through the hole you created, and then pull. Again, I'm not able to get my body through. My body is shaking. That is as far as I can go. But you do want to be able to pull it through. Again, so much easier seated than it is standing. So just going over some of those body positions seated. Speaking of body positions seated, when you are in your splits, that is a great time to practice front stretches, bow and arrows, scorpions, all that good stuff. So if you are not all the way down in your splits yet, I am not, then we're not ready for this challenge yet. But if you are all the way down in your splits, the next challenge is in those splits, pretend that my body is all the way down like it should be. You want to take both hands and reach forward for your front foot. Okay, so I went a little bit lower. Actually, I'm sliding lower now as I'm doing it. Okay, you want to kiss that knee. You can, for a bow and arrow, there's a few different exercises you could do. One, if I was in straight, if I was down all the way, I would try to put my belly button and my chest on the ground right beside my foot while I'm holding on. As you can see, I'm kind of hunched over. I'm not there yet. Another exercise you can do, same leg that's straight, put that hand in front like we always say never ever do. And I'm looking kind of over at the mirror here at the gym. elbow on the ground, and I'm reaching over. I'm emulating that bow and arrow position. You want to hold that for a little bit. Another one you can do, again, get your belly button and your chest on the ground. Take that same leg, same hand, and slide it under where the knee is. Your goal on this one, and I'll show you what it's not supposed to look like. Your goal on this one is to get your body flat on the ground, that arm straight with this leg over it by your shoulder. So not that flexible to demonstrate that one, but hopefully you're working on that at home if you're ready. And of course, do both legs. You want to be flexible for your front on both legs. Think of it if you're working out only one side of your body. One side's gonna be super buff and the other side's gonna be kind of wimpy. So always do both sides. Another one, while you're here in the splits, you can have a partner help you with this one, or you can do it on your own. When you're in your splits, again, pretend these are amazing splits, I'm all the way down. You could bend this back leg up here. You could try both hands. Let's see if I can do it for more than a second. Both hands up in the air. You could reach back. And let me come out of that before I'm not able to get up. You can go ahead and reach back for your back foot, whether you are bending it and able to grab it, or you are just simply reaching back and trying to put the back of your hair on the back of your leg. Again, do those with both, but those are great for your scorpions and things like that. A few other flyer drills for today. Against the wall, so I'll move the camera in a little bit, but against the wall is ideal for some kicks and lifts and things like that. I like to go up against the wall because then I can't cheat. Right here, if I'm kicking my leg up, I could easily like, I got it, and I'm hunched over, my leg is bent. Oy. So definitely go up against the wall. Yes, you can still cheat up against the wall, but it's a little harder to cheat when you're up against the wall. So I will show you them sideways as well. You want to take one foot in front, because flyers, you don't want to kick, because what goes up must come down. So if I'm kicking my leg up, whoa, got it, it's also coming back down really, really fast. So I want to be able to grab that leg. It's a little bit more of a lift than a kick. You're here and you're trying to hold it. Now, because I kicked it up a little faster, I don't have as much muscle as I would like to lift it up there, it also came down fast. It's harder for me to hold. So you want to be here, and that's as far as I can lift it without dropping it down super fast. But I'm going to keep working on that, and each time I'm going to try to hold it for longer. I'm going to try to hold it and maybe pull it up a little higher. Okay, making sure that that body, that supporting leg, is staying straight. If I can kick up super high, but whoo, my leg is bent, that's not going to work in the air. So we got to make sure our body is super duper straight. Again, try that with both legs. Have that one foot in front and hold. And hold. How long can you hold it for? Maintain that body control is really, really, really important. We're going to go over arabesques and scales and things like that. So for your arabesques, most cheer teams, not all, but the majority of them, their flyers do all their back flexibility, like scorpions and scales and things like that, on one leg. So we always work out that leg, but you never know. Some teams do it differently. Some teams do the opposite leg. So definitely try both. But most teams will be flying on their right leg and doing all their flexibility with their left. Since most people are right-handed, they're a little more stable on that right leg. So for your arabesque, you can go up against the wall and hug a wall and take that back leg behind you and lift it up as high as you can. I like being up against the wall because if there's no wall there, it's very easy for me to drop my chest to get my leg higher. And that's not what we want. Your chest will naturally drop a little bit, but we want to keep it up as much as possible. We want to squeeze our butt, squeeze our hamstring, use our back muscle to lift that leg up to like a high V, all while keeping my chest up as high as possible. So go ahead and hit that T position, those airplane arms. I will actually switch because I believe when you're watching this, if you are mirroring me, you'll be doing the wrong leg. So I will do the opposite leg. Go ahead and hit that T position, looking straight down your arm. Toes are pointed, legs are straight, chest is up as high as you possibly can. Squeeze your tush and lift that leg. Now I'm squeezing, that's about as far as I can go unless I drop my chest, which we don't want to do. So keep that chest up and squeeze, 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 squeeze. If someone was here to hold me and I was up against the wall, they could lift my back leg up for me as far as it'll go until I'm like, stop, that's it. And that would be a good way to work on it as well. So I need to have that flexibility to get it up there, but I also need the muscle to get it up there myself. If I'm the girl up in the air, no one's gonna be able to reach me and go, there's your leg, hold it. So I have to be able to do it myself. So great way is a lot of these drills. Holding it, pulsing it, we're using our tush, we're using the back of our leg, we're using our back a little bit. So that's your arabesque. For your scale, mine looks like yoga. That's not what you want. You want your hand to be up in a high V and your back leg to be the other part of the high V. So I always grab on the inside of my leg. The lower you grab, usually the straighter your leg will be, and you're gonna pull it up and away from your head. So you're here, I got my balance, tummy's tight, leg is locked, I grab it, I pull up and away from my head. Now you can see me, it looks like I'm doing yoga because my back leg is bent. We don't want that. We want that back leg to be as straight as possible. So that's gonna be for your scale. For your scorpion, there are many ways to get into it. The way that I teach for the beginners is to grab your big toe, pull it up to your head, and then try to grab it with the other hand as well. So you're gonna be here, get your balance, grab your big toe, pull it up like your scale, but pull it into your head, and we're trying to get it with the other hand. So again, other side, grab your big toe, and you're trying to get it with your other hand. I haven't done a scorpion in forever, so I might die in pain if I am, but you're gonna pull it towards your head. Try to grab it with the other hand is your goal. So much so that you can let go with your first hand and point and wave and do all this cool stuff. Again, don't think I'll be able to do it, but we'll try. Grab, pull, yep, not happening anymore. Grab that hand, grab the foot with the other hand, and then let go with the first hand if you can. And then we affectionately call scorpions that kind of look like mine Dorito scorpions, meaning if you're able to grab the foot, but your leg is bent with your knee right there, kind of looks like a Dorito. So you want to be able to eventually, once you're able to actually get that leg, is start pulling it up to the ceiling. We call that a needle. So that means your leg is completely straight up and down. It's like the back of your head is here, and here is your straight leg right there. So that's one reason why then the splits, reaching back, that's a really, really good drill to do. Let's see, so we've gone over all of our different body positions, except for, of course, Liberty is the most basic one. When you're doing your Liberty, please make sure that your foot, it looks like a puzzle piece. So your knee and your foot, boom, they match like a puzzle piece. Careful for doing that to the side, it's not yoga here, it's right in front. But from the side, please make sure that your foot is right here pointed. It's a little bit in front. If it's back here, or this, or hooked around, or sticking out like a, I don't know. So make sure it's right here. We're lifting up. We don't want to lift up our tush, because if we do, that just threw off our body alignment. We're going to fall. We want to pull it up here, like someone take our pants and went, and pulled up our pants. Hold it here. When you're up in the air, it's a little bit curved too. So it's not this. This will make you fall, okay? You're here, and it's a little bit in. So it's a little bit, if I'm punching you in the tummy, I'm curving my shoulders just a little, not crazy, but just a little bit to keep that body line. If you have a step stool, stairs, a stunt stand, something like that at home, great things to practice on. Make sure that you're safe. So a folding step stool, as long as it locks. Otherwise, don't do it. Don't do it on a folding chair. That's dangerous. So if you have something that can emulate a stunt stand, it can be a box that is strong enough to support your weight. You can also work on putting that foot up there and pretending like you are that flyer. You're up, you're ready to go. 1, 2, down. Clean that body position. Pull that lib. Ooh, balance. Whoa. Open those toes as wide as you can. Clean. And come down. You got that little chin pop too when you come down. Try both sides. So again, your toes in your socks or your shoes are as wide open as they can. I know no one can spread their toes that wide, but try. So you're here. 1, 2, down. 1, 2, and hit. Squeeze, hold it. 1, 2, and down. So those are some drills that you can do for flyers. I know there are a ton more out there, and we'll be trying to share more as well. But keep practicing, keep working on those body positions, have someone help you if you need it, and we'll see you in the gym soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.